High School Reunion is the 7th episode of the first season of Taxi. This is, of course, directed by the wonderful James Burrows, and as always, there will be spoilers from now as I go through the episode and share some thoughts. And I was so excited for this when I realised we finally got to Louie's episode, because up until this point, I think every episode has focused on a different character, and we had a chance to dig a little bit deeper into each of the main characters. And I was really looking forward to Louie's, and I'm pleased to say it did not disappoint. What's really impressive is that the first scene is 12 minutes. The entire first scene is almost half of the episode, and it never felt stale. And that's because Louie is fantastic. Had it been another character, I'm not saying it would have been boring to be 12 minutes, but I think it definitely helped that Louie was just really interesting. It's in the bar, it starts off with Louie singing to the jukebox, and then he reveals he got a letter inviting him to his high school reunion. And only when he said that did I realise that I had no idea how people used to find out about reunions before the age of social media. And I found it very interesting. And then he tells this story about his school days and how it was a really difficult time and people were mean to him. And he wants to go to the reunion, but he doesn't want to go because he's not really proud of where he is in life, and he doesn't feel like he'll be able to show people he's become this great thing. And Bobby suggests that he plays the part of Louie. He is an actor, and we have this great scene, or well, part of this scene, where Bobby is mimicking Louie, and they speak in unison, and it's pretty good, it's pretty convincing. He's clearly studied his character, and Louie decides, let's go for it. And we then cut to the reunion, and for the rest of the episode, basically the entire second half, we cut back and forth between the reunion and the bar, and I think the pacing between the two worked really well. And Bobby is pretty convincing. He has some of his mannerisms down, and it's quite fascinating. It's kind of like a small glimmer of what it could have been like if Danny DeVito wasn't playing Louie, and instead we had Jeff Conaway playing the role. Obviously, the casting's brilliant, and I'm glad it is what it is, but it's just slightly fascinating to see what things could look like if they'd maybe not gone that direction. And then after a couple of minutes, we cut back to the bar, and I don't know why I found this so funny, but when Louie said, "I wonder what I'm doing at the reunion," it made me laugh. I don't know why. It doesn't sound that funny when I say it now, but it was entertaining. I liked it. And we also have a great quote from Alex. Alex says, "Everybody's a little happy, wishing they were doing something else." I like that. I mean, I don't like the fact that everybody's a little unhappy, but I like the fact that it just helps to solidify the fact that we're all going through things. We all have mixed emotions and highs and lows, and it's a normal part of life. And Louie then decides he wants to go and have a peek at the reunion, which honestly sounds kind of creepy because he can't say who he is because Louie is already there, technically. So Louie, the real Louie, seems like he's just going to hang around outside, a little bit creepy. And then they all go, and Alex invites Beverly along, who works in the bar. And I don't know much about the character of Beverly. I like what I've seen so far. I hope that she's in it more frequently, partly because I think it's a good way to involve some secondary characters, but also because I really want more than one female character in the show. And then we are at the reunion again for the rest of the episode, and I found it very funny. With hindsight, this joke seems obvious, like that's where they were going with it, but I didn't work it out until it was revealed. And this is when somebody Louie used to know was talking to Bobby as Louie, saying that he earns all of this money and he only declares some of it. And then he asks Bobby as Louie, what he's doing, and he points out that he's an auditor for the Internal Revenue Service, which it made me laugh. I liked it. I didn't see that coming. And then Louie is there, and he gets a little bit creepy at one point, and ultimately everything falls down, and it is beautifully executed. The entire room falls apart. It starts with a couple of people slippering, falling over, not being able to keep their balance, and then the decorations tumble down, everybody falls on the floor, there's drink all over the floor, everybody's slipping everywhere, the balloons fall down, it is just chaotic, and it looks fantastic. And aside from the band, who are on the stage slightly at the back, Louie is the only one standing, the real Louie, and it was just a fabulous moment, and I thought it was a really great way to end the episode. I really thoroughly enjoyed this. Very fun. A lot of comedy in this one, as is usually the case, of course. And I'm really glad that we got to dig a little bit deeper into the character of Louie. I really like him, and I feel like up until this point, we've not really got to learn, we haven't had the opportunity to learn that much about him. And now we do, and I'm quite happy. And I thought High School Reunion was definitely a really fun episode of Taxi. Definitely put a smile on my face.